Hey y'all, so I'm gonna try something different for this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. Normally I watch it twice before I review it, but I'm just gonna watch this on my first viewing and review it as I go along. So we'll see how this goes. Anywho, this is episode 12. And yeah, they're still in Vegas. Let's get into the episode. So we open with Miss Jen Shaw. She's getting ready in her hotel room. I think in the last episode, y'all saw me rave over this little green suit that she has on. So I'm guessing she's wearing this tonight. And she says she's going to the strip club. Okay. So next scene, we're with Heather in her hotel room. She opens the door for Whitney. And it looks like Whitney's going to tell her what all happened at the car race with her and Meredith and Lisa. So Whitney is telling Heather all what happened at the racetrack. She says she feels good about what happened. They're all, on good terms now. And meanwhile, we see Lisa and Meredith, and they're going down for dinner. I'm guessing everyone is meeting for dinner. They're just there early. But we're back with Whitney and Heather, and Whitney's telling her, yeah, I think all the drama is behind us now. And Heather's like, girl. Heather is telling Whitney that Jen is still mad at her about the party. She's saying, you ruined it. It's all your fault. And Whitney is just shocked to hear all of this. So thank you, production, for letting us know that when they were in the dirty tubs, that Jen accepted Whitney's apology. So it should have been done. But we know Jen. She's unhinged and she's just not right up there. So next scene, we see Jen come down and join Lisa and Meredith for dinner. I'm guessing Whitney and Heather are on their way. So Lisa and Meredith are telling Jen that, yeah, we talked it out, we're good. And then we clearly see that Jen still has a problem with it. And she's saying, yeah, she apologized to me, it was sincere, but I don't think she took accountability. What? And then now she's trying to get the other ladies back on her side, to be mad at Whitney again. Y'all notice she did that with Mary? And she was still mad at Mary, and now she's doing the same thing with Whitney. I don't like this, Jen, and I came in this season liking you, but I don't know. So plot twist, Lisa and Meredith are actually coming to Whitney's defense. She's saying that, oh well, she was just saying what she was told. She didn't lie. If Mary lied to Whitney, that doesn't, put Whitney at fault. That puts Mary at fault. In Jen's perspective, she's saying well, she threw y'all two under the bus and she's apologizing for lying. So now I don't trust the bitch because she's a liar, and you guys shouldn't trust her either. So I don't get it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I was rooting for you, Jen, but you're disappointing me. So Jen is getting increasingly angry with them, and you can just tell. And then Lisa is trying to diffuse the situation. Meredith has had enough. She's just walking, you know what? I'm not engaging. I'm disengaging from this. I'm disengaging. So she's getting up. She's like, you're not about to tell me. Well, I'm saying it how I would say it, but she's basically telling Jen, you're not telling me who I can and can't be friends with. And she grabs her pocketbook and her coat and walks out. I'm not sure if she's coming back. We're getting to commercial break. Personally, I see Meredith's point, because at this point, Jen is trying to gaslight them and say, okay, well, first y'all were on Mary's side, now you're on Whitney's side. It's okay. I don't care. I'm on the side of right. Now, as Meredith is walking away, I will say that, girl, you know what you signed up for. There's gonna be confrontations. You can't just leave every time the kitchen gets hot. You need to stand up for yourself and speak your point. You can't just walk away. I don't like that part. But I understand that she's just tired of Jen's bullshit. You're not about to tell me what to do. And I would have just stayed there and been like, okay, you can get mad all you want to. I'm gonna finish my drink and I'm gonna get this free food. Okay, I don't know what is happening right now. Jen is crazy. She is crazy. Now, I can't believe she did that. She left. She just left. She just fucking left. Lisa's trying to calm her down. Jen is lucky she's dealing with some white women in this scene, because you can't get all up in the face like that and then pointing. Oh no, ma'am. You can't go on Potomac with that. You can't go to Atlanta with that. But anyway, it looks like Jen was on her way out, but then she comes back like, where's my purse? Where's my purse? And then she sees Whitney. If you want to talk, we're gonna talk. I'm like, okay. From the viewer's perspective, Jen, you look crazy. You really look crazy right now. You should really stop mixing medication and alcohol. And thank you, Heather, for getting to her face, because she's coming at Whitney crazy. Crazy. I know Heather's had enough. At one point, it looked like she was about to sock Whitney, and then Jen's bodyguard comes up. I'm guessing to protect Whitney? I don't know. So I commend Lisa. Like, she actually has some patience for Jen, but she doesn't have patience for anybody else. But we see that Lisa is trying to calm her down, but unfortunately, Lisa, you are not trained to calm down a person with borderline personality disorder. You just can't. So if I was Lisa, I would just walk away and let Jen be Jen. So Lisa goes back to the dining room to talk to Whitney and Heather, and she's saying, wow, that was a lot. You think? And I'm guessing she's still trying to give Jen's behavior the benefit of the doubt and said, like, guys, maybe it's beyond ruining the party. Something happened in her home. But Lisa doesn't know that they all talked about this in the dirty tubs. And Jen literally says she forgave Whitney. So, of course, Whitney's going to be like, okay, nothing is wrong now, we're good. Ooh, and the plot thickens. So now that Whitney hears from Heather that Jen said that the only reason this whole group is friends with Whitney is because of her relationship with Heather, Whitney's just like, you know what? Fuck it. She's been talking about all of you behind your back. So then she brings up, the shit that she said about Meredith. And then she tells Lisa that the conversation that Lisa had with Jen went and told Whitney that Lisa was talking about her. So yeah, Lisa is now very annoyed by this information. And it seems like she's even angrier about the information about Meredith, because Meredith is Lisa's ride or die. So it looks like they're all seeing that Jen is at the root of all these problems. She is the master manipulator. She's trying to be like Lisa Vanderpump right now. Yeah, hopefully they all confront her ass. So now we cut to Jen literally having a nervous breakdown in her hotel room. And her poor husband, we see that she's talking to her husband saying that nobody has her back. She is screaming and wailing and crying. I gotta say, this is getting kind of good. So they all reconvene, everyone except Jen, to Whitney's suite. So we have Whitney, Heather, Lisa, and they call over Meredith. So they're all talking in the living room about what just happened down in the dinner. Whitney said she thought Jen was going to hit her. I did too. And all of Jen's lies is coming out now. So now that they've talked about all what Jen has said, Whitney says to Meredith, she's been trying to tell me things about your marriage and, maybe you're seeing some other people. So Meredith was just like, okay, I've had enough of this. I've had enough. So Meredith just spills the tea. She was like, well, me and my husband, we've been separated for a while. And yes, I have seen other people during the separation. And Lisa is like, so Lisa is kind of taken aback by this because she didn't know this information. She's like, this is like my best friend and I didn't know this, but you told this to Jen? How does Jen know this information? It does say a lot. She told that to Jen, but didn't tell it to her best friend Lisa? Wow. Okay, I can kind of see where Lisa's coming from. Lisa is pulling her weight in this episode, y'all. At first, y'all know, for the last few episodes, I was like, why is she on the show? But Lisa's been, she's been earning her keep this episode. Oh, Heather. Battered wife syndrome. That's what this is. She still wants to be Jen's friend after all this. But she has redeeming qualities. I've seen it before. This attachment, it's not healthy, Heather. And you got your family right here. Like, she came for your cousin, almost hit her. And you still want to be friends with somebody like this? She is unstable. Also, this is the closest I've seen Lisa and Meredith interact with Heather and Whitney without Jen being present. So I actually like this dynamic now. What is going on, y'all? This franchise is definitely taking a turn. But yeah, Lisa brings up a good point. Lord, I'm agreeing with Lisa. What is going on? She's telling Heather, does she defend you like this? And Heather said she doesn't care. Also, side note, because I remember saying that I never heard of the Nomad Hotel, but it looks like it's connected to the MGM Park, and I pass that all the time when I'm in Vegas. Like, y'all know I love Vegas because I love to gamble. I've been there like 7, 8 times. But yeah, totally recognize this area now. So it's the morning after in Vegas after all that went down, and we go from housewife to housewife. Meredith talking to her spoiled brat of a son, saying he's crying that he stepped in his dog shit. Then we get to Heather, who's talking to her real friend, it looks like, and she's saying that Jen left. Jen went to the airport and hightailed it out of there. And then we see Whitney in her room doing some killer stretches, and I'm guessing another reason how she bagged her husband, and she's just saying how terrible this trip was, like the worst ever. She's feeling very regretful. I feel bad for Whitney. She didn't deserve any of what Jen brought to her. So now we are with Mary. Her first appearance this episode, 27 minutes in. Yeah, she's giving me some Grey Gardens type tea. Like, she's dressed to the nine, just walking in her own house. And I think her only friend is her lowly housekeeper / assistant, who just so happens to be related to her. So Mary gets a FaceTime from Lisa, of all people, and Lisa is telling her, you are very lucky to not have come, because Jen really lost her mind. And Mary's looking at her phone all crazy. Well, I told you, it's Jen. It's inevitable. She is just so crazy. So Lisa's saying, yeah, I missed you, Mary. I wish you could have came, outside of these circumstances. And Mary says, well, I'm glad I've had this alone time to myself to regroup. And I will say, she was right about Jen to all of them. Like, we get, with the help of the producers, we see that she told them how Jen gets. And you know what? A broke clock is right twice a day. So, hey Mary, you got this one. The most ironic part of this scene was when she told Lisa, well, how can you understand crazy? And I was just like, oh, really, Mary? But you know what? Crazy knows crazy. So now we're back in Vegas. The ladies are all meeting down to see what their next activity is. It looks like Lisa, Meredith, and Whitney, they're all buddy-buddy now, and it's great to see. And Whitney is really feeling this long hair. I think she's gonna keep it going forward because she looks really good in it. So they're trying to wait on Heather because she's running late. Whitney calls Heather and see how long she's gonna be taking, and Heather was like, oh, I'm gonna be 15 more minutes, just send me the address. And so they leave, and then we see Heather going to Jen's room. And I'm guessing she was just gonna pick up the dresses that she got. But we see Jen Shaw in the room with all her minions and assistants by her side. What? This is some bipolar shit. She's saying that she was gonna go to the airport, but then her team calmed her down and was just like, Jen, lie down. Jen is in her own land right now. So she sees it as she wants to be apologized to for people lying. She can't move forward without people admitting that they were lying to her. So she's saying either Whitney was lying or either Meredith and Lisa were lying that they were scared of her. That's not the issue, boo-boo. The issue is, why are you acting insane to people who have a difference of opinion with you? That's the issue. You're crazy. Like, I don't know. Is she in WandaVision right now? Am I watching WandaVision? Because I thought that came on Disney Plus, not Bravo. And I will say, Heather is standing up to her and saying, like, yeah, the issue is you and your behavior. Heather, you're talking to a brick wall. You're not going to get through to Jen. It looks like Jen is getting mad that her, lapdog Heather isn't on her side now. But Heather still wants to be Jen's friend, but she's trying to give it to her straight still. I don't know. I probably would have walked out. I need to know, who are my friends? Your friends are the assistants and hairstylists and makeup artists that you pay. Those are the only people that are devoted to you. So we find out where Whitney is taking the ladies, and it's to the house of this rich kook hypnotist that can channel people's inner selves. Let's just say that. So they all go to the table, they're breathing, closing their eyes, and then in walks Heather with Jen. The looks on their faces. Oh my God. Heather, why would you do that? You couldn't even let any of them know that you were bringing Jen with you. And then Jen just walks in like nothing happened the day before. Wow. Heather, you need your ass whooped. I would have, ooh. Let's continue. I can't with this scene. So she has them closing their eyes, imagining balls in their hands. First a ping pong ball, then baseball. So we have a group of women at the table, hands out, imagining that they have balls in their hands, and they're just wiggling them. I kid you not. I think this is the best episode of this season. I should have known Jen wasn't going anywhere. Like, she will do anything for camera time. She's not going to miss out on that. Y'all not about to marry her. She's going to try to maintain to be the center of attention. So I should have known she wasn't going anywhere. But they got me. I thought she went home. So they all moved to this large living room in the hypnotherapist's house. They're sitting around each other. I can't believe that Jen sat that close to Whitney. I would think she was on the other side. But anywho, it looks like they're all going to talk out their issues with this hypno lady present. So Jen is trying to play the victim and saying like, why is it always me? Like, nothing really happened for you to get up, Meredith. And Meredith's saying, well, the reason why I got up was because you were getting increasingly angry and telling me who I can and can't be friends with. And then Jen's response is, well, that's your perception. So they're all telling her facts, like things that she said that were problematic, and it's like she's acknowledging what they're saying to her, but it's not getting through to her. She's just listening only to respond. Jen is a master manipulator. It's like she's trying to do this crying thing. She's trying to manipulate people with her tears. Like she is an emotional manipulator. Jen is saying like, you know, oh, woe is me. I just want to find out who's lying because I'm a big believer in loyalty. And, you know, we are waiting for Meredith to catch her on that lie. So then Meredith is like, well, that's when you're contradictory because I've heard from every person that you are talking about my marriage. And, you know, I don't get angry, but you don't want to see me angry. Okay, Meredith. Okay. And Jen looks tongue-tied. Ooh, and Jen just lies to her face. Meredith point blank asks her, did you say any negative innuendo about my marriage? And Jen says, I would never. Like, really? Really? The hypnotherapist woman is holding Jen to the fire now. She was just like, no. That's not an apology. She interrupted her twice. And now I'm kind of scared for her because Jen might hit her. After all that, it was still a half-assed apology. What are you sorry for, Jen? You know what you did. Just say it. Ooh, saying sorry, like it looked like it hurt her. It looked like she lost a limb just now just by apologizing for some bullshit that she did. Oh. Keep this woman on here. Y'all, I am moving in a month. I cannot wait to not have all this interrupting me because I can get these videos to you so much faster if I don't have all this in the background. Now, as I was saying, this woman, I like her. She is kooky. So they're playing this trust or not trust game. And basically the therapist is saying, who doesn't trust who? So we go through all the ladies' names. No hands go up on who doesn't trust them. Jen's name comes up. All 4 ladies raise their hands saying they don't trust Jen. The look on Jen's face. Oh my God. The one person who stuck up for Jen. The kooky lady says, who doesn't trust Heather? And her one friend, who she kept trying to stick up for, raises her hand. Wow. So yes, I'm pausing Heather's face right now. Her face is cracked. See? See, Heather? I told you. Ooh, and production is in on the fun. When Heather says, you know, I've been behind Jen this whole time. Whenever she had a breakdown, oh, we are going back through the season. How does Jen feel watching this back? Because she has stormed off in such like crazy fashion so many times, and Heather has just ran after her. Heather, like I said, everyone has been trying to tell you about your friend. Oh, this is so good, it's fattening. They got her in a calm space and they are laying it into her, and she needs to hear all of this. And she can't leave. I love it. I love it. Y'all, this is the best episode of the season. And Jen says she feels justified in her behavior because it has to deal with her family, her friends. You can't justify those actions. You need to stop drinking and mixing medication. That's what you need to do. And judging from Jen's confessional, it seems like she didn't take anything from that conversation, that they were just being truthful with her. Jen, shut up. Your version of loyalty is the ones that your servants, assistants, hairdressers, minions, etc. That's what you want. You want blind allegiance, loyalty. That's what you want. And you can't have that with actual people that don't work for you. So Jen is trying to tell the other ladies that she actually is loyal, her version of loyal at least. And, before y'all ruin a friendship, and that's the word that's like, who's trying to ruin a friendship? And then Heather says, well, you're on the brink of ruining a friendship. And then we end the episode on the kooky woman's like, that's good, we're good. This was a really good episode. That is where it ends, y'all. And next week is the finale, finally. And I gotta say, I love this episode. Sign me up. That was really good. I'm all in. I really am. I actually am shook that I enjoyed this episode so much. I hope y'all feel the same way. This was really good. We had drama from the beginning to the very end. I laughed. Jen's delusion alone. Anywho, yeah, I can't wait for the finale. Then we have the reunion, and oh my God, those looks. Anyway, yes. So I'm going to get to editing this and try to get this out to y'all tonight, hopefully. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.